Hello and happy Labor Day weekend and the new week to come. This is Judy Vitale. It is your weekly horoscopes at work for the week of September 4th through 10th, 2017. And I hope that you're all enjoying a really fun Labor Day weekend. It is the end of the unofficial summer season, but it's the beginning of so much more. And this week we are going to have a full moon in Pisces. 13 degrees of Pisces. That's going to take place on Wednesday. So expect something to come to culmination when that occurs. But even more important, Mercury comes out of retrograde. Yay! On Tuesday. Some other highlights we have is our Mars going into Virgo on Tuesday morning as well. And then also Mercury will make its way back into Virgo on Saturday at 10:52 p.m. So with all of these things going on, it's going to be a relatively busy week, but also positive. Not a lot of like that heavy energy that we had during the eclipse time. And I don't think people will be forecasting gloom and doom again for a while. So that's good. You know, you have to remember that these planetary forces have been going on since the beginning of time. It's our job to find the best ways to interact with them so that we can continue to evolve and help those around us to do the same, and to deal with tragedy and to confront it and realize that the human spirit and our ability to connect with one another on the level of the heart is what is going to make the world continue to be a place that we all love to live in. Okay? So let's go through this day by day. Of course, Monday, let's hope you have it off, but if you don't, it's not a bad day for work. The moon will be in Aquarius. This gives us a sense of what's good for everybody, what's good for the group. So this is excellent for those gatherings that you may be planning. So that's excellent. On Tuesday, the moon will go void, of course, at 1:15 a.m. and head on into Pisces at 1:28 a.m. and get us all set up for that Mars moving into Virgo, giving us our ability, our desire to do things, putting into the practical, hardworking sign of Virgo. So this is an excellent time to begin to get work finished, especially as Mercury comes out of its retrograde on Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. on the East Coast. So Wednesday, we have that full moon, and just before the full moon, we're going to have an occultation. That's when the moon is aligned not only in terms of the degrees in the zodiac, but also latitudinally like this, so that there's like a blockage kind of, the moon blocking out Neptune at 1:08 a.m. And then the full moon takes place at 3:03 a.m. again. Create your prayers and your intentions for something that's coming to a culmination, and really do everything you can to ensure that it continues to do that. On Thursday, the moon moves into Aries at 8:01 a.m. on the East Coast, and this is motivational energy. It's a fire. But when you have a fire inside, make sure you take responsibility for tending it and making sure that it is being used for proper purposes and not just going all over the place. That's the challenge of the moon in Aries. That energy will continue to be with us on Friday. And we will also have some nice things like moon trining Venus, which is really nice at around lunchtime. And then we have moon square Pluto. So there could be a few power struggles going on in the afternoon time. But again, just try to temper your temper. In other words, just try to make sure that you are staying in your center and doing what needs to be done without stepping on other people. On Saturday, the moon goes void, of course, at 11:52 a.m. Eastern time again, and goes back into Taurus at 12:23 p.m. This allows us to have a nice weekend time of just enjoying being around one another. The sun will be in a trine with Pluto. This will be lovely. And then we'll also have Mercury moving into Virgo, putting us in the state of mind where we're going to get some work done. So this is the beginning of the rush of the back to school season. I think that we have to wait until the very end of September for it to come fully into play when Pluto comes out of its retrograde. But in the meantime, we are going to be enjoying just the fact that we can have a nice Saturday, and that's going to be a good one. Even if you have some work to do on Saturday, it will go smoothly. On Sunday, the moon in Taurus again. This is just a time to enjoy ourselves and indulge ourselves in some pleasure and some sensuality. It's also not a good time for making big changes. People don't like to think about changes when the moon is in Taurus. It's also Grandparents' Day. If you have a grandparent who's still around, say something nice to them today. They have such an important role in our lives. And if they're gone and on the other side, you can still say something nice to them. That's my policy. So that is just about what's going to be happening for the entire week. At 8:54 p.m. on Sunday night, the moon will go void of course. So again, all these moon void of course periods that I'm mentioning, avoid making major purchases, having important meetings, and just putting things off. During the moon void of course, you want to finish things, get them all sorted out. So that is that for me. I will be back at my desk as of Wednesday, September the 6th. So I'm ready to take appointments and your questions, and I'm available for public speaking as well as individual consultations for astrology, transpersonal coaching, hypnotherapy, EMDR, and yoga, and of course, astrology. So you can find me anytime you need to at Judy, Judi, at readthestars.com.